Welcome to Rauta's workout videos. Yes, it's time to come back with that theme, that topic, which has been vastly ignored during my time in Spain for past 6 months. Well, almost, give or take. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video is, first of all, to make this come back to the workout topics. Some of you have been requesting and hoping for those topics, and I will be bringing more of those. The secondary reason is that I finished a program by Ryan Humiston, a bodybuilder influencer, who kind of sparked me an idea, with his videos. First of all, like individual exercise videos, that maybe I should do something else while I'm in Spain. And when I went to this bodybuilding gym in Spain, I decided let's do something else. Let's do something totally different than your typical powerlifting routine. So it was a kind of a refreshing to shock my body, but also from motivational point of view. Not that I really lack motivation, that is. And for other reasons, just maybe get a little bit more muscle mass. Even though I knew that within 1 month or so, even 2 months, you don't really make that much of a progress. I mean, I'm in my 40s, not in my 20s or 30s. I don't do steroids. I'm a natural lifter. So, that is meaning that I don't make big progress within a short amount of time. That's kind of a given. But more than that, it gave me a lot of ideas how to incorporate different kind of ideas to my powerlifting routine now that I'm back to it, and also give a little bit more understanding of certain exercises. So yeah, kind of interesting to do this kind of a program. So let's get to it, and I'll talk you a little bit like how it was and what it's like and all that stuff, and whether or not I can really recommend it to you. Now, this is called push, pull, throw up. It's a joke made with this PPL, push, pull, legs exercise routine, which is 3 different days focusing on push, pull, and leg exercise movement. I mean, it's kind of a self-explanatory, but even that being said, every PPL program is a little bit different. Now here, Ryan says, are you ready for a PPL program that doesn't suck? Well, it certainly made me feel like I suck, because first of all, these routines are so different than I'm usually doing, and so many different exercises, especially those isolated ones that I didn't even know to exist. So now I know a little bit more. That was kind of a fun, but very, very taxing, very, very heavy program to me. So this is how it would look on the main page. And Ryan Humiston also has other programs. If you go for his page here, you will see that there are plenty of other programs. For example, full gym 2.0, 30-day full gym program, etc. Garage style stuff. This could have been working for me. Now, what I want to mention before I go into details with this program is that I wanted to do this straight in 3 days a week kind of a style, which would last, in this case, 2 months, because this is 4 weeks program only if you do it 6 times a week, which is very, very taxing, especially if you're a little bit older than like me, and if you can't really invest a lot of time and all that stuff with the workouts. Now, I had to do this in 2 parts, which isn't obviously ideal, but nonetheless, this is how I kind of had to do it, because I didn't have the access to the bodybuilding gym for the whole time in Spain. I actually went there only for a month. So during that month, I did the 2 first weeks of this program, and later on when I went more like garage kind of a gym, which was very, very limited in equipment and didn't even have proper dumbbells or barbells and all that stuff, well, I kind of had to do something else, because a lot of these exercises with this program is something that requires quite a lot of different weights of dumbbells, quite a variety of machines and all that stuff. Of course, you can replace some of them and you can just improvise a lot, but then again, if you improvise too much, it kind of goes beyond the original program. And of course, when you change these things too much, it kind of ceases to exist. It kind of a stuff. I mean, compare it to music. If you start, replacing guitar with, I don't know, piano or something, it really doesn't sound the same, even though you might find the same notes and, whatever. Anyway, what is great with Ryan Humiston's program is that you get all the different weeks here listed. This is what I'm showing as my personal login, which is something that you don't see unless you are paying the program, which is still $20. I decided $20 isn't much of a money for a good program, so here it is. But I get to show you this because I have the login information, and what you can see is like it's divided into 4 weeks. There's lots of humor with Ryan's style of writing. Like this one is the one where you almost shit yourself doing standing hypers. And a lot of his videos have the kind of a dry humor as well. It's very, very compatible with mine. It's kind of compatible, I guess, with a pretty sense of humor. But those who are more sensitive, who don't like, humor with their gym programs, who are all about very serious and all that stuff, who want kind of a, more traditional approach to program, maybe Ryan Humiston is not for you. Now, every program starts with a video. So, for example,
all right, week 1, day 1.
Here, I'm just going to pause it. We'll explain the whole day. Like this takes a few minutes to watch through. He will explain all the movements and all that stuff. And when you kind of push continue, these are all explained here with photos. So for example, the first push day would include 5 sets of 15 reps of incline barbell with 5 count wrist pause. These will be explained in detail with the programs. And he will have the photos to explain you, help you out, remember what that movement was. Now, mind you, this is for advanced lifters, intermediate at lowest. That means if you're a beginner, if you don't know what half of these movements are, don't go for this. This is way too taxing, way too complex for a lot of people out there. I don't even know, with my some 15 years now in lifting, but mainly about powerlifting and all, I don't know if I am qualified to do this kind of a program. A lot of these movements or exercises were, of course, rather familiar with me, so it wasn't like, wow, what is this? But more like, yeah, I had to learn something new, or at least learn new variations. But a lot of programs, with this one, have different kind of exercises, and some of you might know it, some of you might not, but you will learn along the way. That's why he has those videos. And then photos to kind of get you going. For example, the next one here would be dips, slow, negative, and then barbell slide push-ups. And it's always explained here with photos and all that stuff. But because of the amount of different repetitions with different sets and all that stuff, it means it's going to take time, depending once again how much recovery time you need between sets and all. So for example, if you would do, 90 seconds to 2 minutes between sets, it would probably take closer to 2 hours. I had 2-minute sets with, heavier lifts like, deadlifts and squats and all that stuff. But maybe 90 seconds would have been enough. Maybe even 60 seconds. But mind you, when you have giant sets and drop sets, it's going to be taxing as hell, especially when you do like 3-figure amount of different lifts. Like you might have some leg presses going for, over 300 reps. Yes, I really say that. And if you're going to do it all the way down, you really need to have very, very light weight. Obviously, a lot of these weights might look quite, lightweight. For example, Ryan Humiston is a really big, husky guy, and he has these small weights with a lot of these movements. But once you start doing this, you will understand why. Because there are no, basically, with the few exceptions, of course, most of these, sets have something like 50, 20, 30 reps, sometimes even 50. So, of course, you don't really do those kind of sets with the kind of a heavier weights. You would just gas out and die. Not necessarily die, but you know what I mean. So, for example, if you used to do something like, 3 to 5 sets of 10 reps each, and you would say it's maybe like 50 kilos, or if you are using pounds, you might say 100 pounds. You might have to really cut it by 50% or even more, because once you shift from 10 to say 30 or even 25, it's a whole different world. And this is all about creating the pump, which is very much like virtually unknown to me. Not really, but powerlifting, when you have different sets and reps with say something like 3 to 8 reps, usually that kind of a range, with accessory movements maybe a little bit more. It's a whole different world. You don't really get that pump, but you aim for, power, strength. So it's a very, very different world, and this was much like eye-opening experience for me. Was it heavy as heck? Yes, definitely it was. And sometimes going even 3 times a week with some 90 minutes or so programs, it was like, wow. Now, my second part of this program took place when I was back in Finland and I had lots of extra time. So I went with like 6 days a week. And you're supposed to do it basically like 3 days a row, 10 a pause, another 3 days. But obviously when, when you have a 7 days week, you eventually have to do all those in a bigger lump. So that felt really, really taxing, especially when those programs are still at 90 minutes. So it doesn't matter if you have more days. It doesn't really cut your or make your, days shorter. It just makes them, more wholesome in a way. So going for 6 days a week for about 90 minutes, roughly give or take each day, it's gonna feel heavy, especially after day 4 or 5. And when there's always leg day as the last day, be it the third or sixth, it's gonna feel like, yeah, I need rest, I need recovery. You kind of get like work, program, and gym, and then you just eat food, watch a movie, maybe go to sleep. That's pretty much I started to feel towards the end. No, the 3 days a week is more suitable for me. I guess the kind of a sweet point would have been sweet spot, I guess would be the right word, would have been something like 4 days. But then it would have meaning like, okay, you do like 3 days of push-pull legs and then another fourth one. What would that be? It would kind of make this a little bit weird mess. So I decided 3 days is fine, especially when they are indeed some 90 minutes. Now, to sum it up, I would say I learned a lot of isolating exercises. I learned a lot about more bodybuilding. I learned a lot about pump. I learned very much in dry humor, which you can incorporate into lifting. But that wasn't really a new thing for me. So overall, I would say, yeah, this is a pretty interesting program, but it's not for everybody. I understand why Ryan Humiston has gotten his fair share of criticism for this program or other programs, because some say he's a full of gimmick guy, he's not a natural lifter, blah blah blah. But he's big, he's fun, and he clearly knows his shit. So I can say, yeah, this is good for some people, but not for most, not for intermediates necessarily, definitely not for newbies, definitely not those who don't have the luxury of time and who don't want to get pumped. Now, if you just want fitness, this is wrong program for you. If you want powerlifting or weightlifting, this is not for you. If you don't know the difference between powerlifting, weightlifting, or bodybuilding, this is not for you. Would it be for powerbuilding? Guess not, except for a change. But if you're an advanced lifter, you want something different for your bodybuilding routine, or if you want to feel the pump, if you want to do something different, you want to learn some new exercises and accessory movements or whatever, yeah, go for it. $20 ain't nothing for 4 to 8 weeks program. Once again, depending how you want to do it. So I would say, with my limited experience with various programs and all, I would say this is 4 out of 5 kind of a program. Lots of cool sides to it, lots of learning experiences with this one, but also so taxing, and maybe you need to be a little bit younger and more passionate about bodybuilding in order to take the full benefit of this one. And also you really need a good gym. If you're very limited with your gym, like home gym or your local, apartment building gym at the basement, cellar, or whatever, or just, school gym, public gym, they might not have all you need to have with, the big racks with dumbbells and, various machines. I couldn't have access to all of them, but say 95% was pretty much I got to do. Just the gym was too crowded, which is also a little bit problem once you start bouncing from one movement to another, and then you maybe have to wait because there's someone else there, and you're running on the clock because you don't want to do these 2 hours exercises. So once again, it depends what you're looking for, what kind of goals you have for your training and all that stuff. But I think definitely worth giving a shot, and one day I might go for another Ryan Humiston program. I don't know. I'm more inclined towards power building or just powerlifting, so maybe this is not something that I'm looking for, but who knows, when I'm older and getting more bored with not getting more strength, so who knows, maybe this is something that I really need when I'm older and all that stuff. But yeah, interesting stuff. I will have the links provided in the description box, so you can just check it out, the links, without googling, and maybe you will give it a shot, maybe don't, especially if you're weak, lame, unmotivated, and all that stuff. Don't go for this one. This is for the ones who have no life beyond powerlifting. deadlifting, whatever. No, seriously, you just have to have time and motivation, and then you can do it. All right, that's for it. Thanks for your comments and suggestions to bring workout videos back to Rauta channel as well. We'll see more about that later on with more topic on the powerlifting and all. So take care and see you soon again. Bye-bye.